I've never used the brand, so we're going to try it. Up to 10 times faster spraying cover, up to 1 acre in less than 30 minutes. Turbo boosted power. So we'll see if it's turbo boosted. It's got a 1-year warranty, 3.7 gallon tank, which was on the other, so it's a Tomahawk. But I'm going to unbox it because I know I got to put it together. And I got to have it for tomorrow because I have like 5 mosquito jobs to do. So my other one broke down on me, which was Invitec Italia. So China made. Pretty sure this one's China made too. Don't know. I plan on getting the Makita, but the Makitas are about $1,000. I am going to try this one out. I'm sure this one does the dry flowables like my other, but I do not use it for that. Have never used it for that. It looks like here's some of the hoses. I kept my other one, which is not running, because I could probably use some of the parts off of it, like if my hose gets too messed up. Looks like this is your drip hose. I really don't know what this, my other one didn't come with one like that. Looks like it's got the blower nozzle. It's got some sort of, I guess, a mixing tank with a pour bottle. That's kind of cool. It does kind of come, that looks, I guess, assume, I don't know, is a mixing tank where you can mix chemical and just kind of pour it over in there. I don't know. We'll find out. But anywho, we're going to unbox it here. Looks like this one may be a little more put together than the last one was. I don't know. I know I've got to put some of it together. There's some more of the hose. And more hose. So I'm going to just pick the thing up. You got your user manual. And then you're going to have your putting together instructions. So the straps do say Tomahawk. Now on the other one, guys, if you use one a lot, if you're just using this when you won't, I had the problem with the other one. This kind of has the same clips. These clips don't like to stay on it real well. I don't know about this particular brand. They're going to hook here, but they like to come off. And your biggest thing you're going to have to watch, and I had it happen to me when I was doing a pretty decent sized, I was doing the edge of the woods in a decent sized yard where there's a bunch of brush, trying to make sure to take care of the mosquitoes. And this one may be a little different. This one will not pull through, which is wonderful. The other one, the way it was designed up here, it came loose, and there's nothing worse than when this is on your back and it's standing up like this, and both straps give loose, and your whole thing just flips over like this. It sucked. And it was full. So this one is built different. It doesn't look like these can even go through the hole, which is amazing. That's great. I don't have to worry about it, short of it breaking. It's padded right here, it looks like. So to keep down vibration, I don't think my other one had some sort of padding there, but it definitely wasn't as nice as that. So there's a plus. This one is about $400 to get it online. You're gonna have your typical top to it. You got your tray, which tray never always comes all the way out. You always want to use this when you're mixing your chemical, otherwise you're gonna pour trash down in it. A good way to flush it when you go to clean it. I kind of like that tray a little better. And I'll have to show you once I get it done. Well, I can show you now. If you ever want to flush it out, you're done for the season, you're not using it. This bag is literally just sealed up. This will all be hooked up. I'll take my hose, just put it there. And that actually looks like a mixing thing, so I'm kind of excited about that because I can use a spare one on the truck. Extra parts, don't really know, I'm not 100% sure. So this piece should unscrew. Alright, I'm going to unscrew this because on my other one, what's awesome is we're going to pull this out. This is your fan, and then this whole, actually, this whole plastic piece, you don't have to unscrew that part, but I did anyway. This whole piece will come out. And when you want to flush that line out, make sure your tank's empty, put your water hose, and you can put it on a jet stream, and you can put it right inside this hole right here, and you can spray up in here, and it goes all the way through this hose and back into the tank. It'll flush your line out, so at the end of the season, clean it out, because if you don't, you're going to get it gunked up and then you're just going to have a horrible mess. So just it's simple. You don't have to unscrew this part. I did, I always do, I don't know why, but you don't have to unless you're replacing this piece. And then this simply just goes on it like this. I'm not going to over tighten it, just hand tighten, make sure it spins. And this is plastic, so you want to be careful with it, but this literally unscrews from the nozzle here. So I'm just going to screw this back in. That's where all your chemical is going to come out when you turn it on. It's going to come through there. And again, just maybe hand tighten it, don't do any more. This is where you adjust how much flow you want. I usually keep mine on 2. 2 is a pretty good setting. So has little numbers, they're hard to see, but I usually keep it on 2. So we're just going to go ahead and put this thing together because I've got to use it tomorrow and I got to make sure that it works. Again, this is the first time I'll be using this particular model, but I do like that it is mostly put together. The other one I had to do a whole lot more too. This one's already got it hooked into here. It comes out, and then we've got our hose here. So I'm going to see if I can remember how to do it. Kind of off memory, but I'll read the instructions to you. Actually, that would be better. Place ribbed pipe and clamp onto the elbow. So here is your elbow, and then make sure we get all the right parts and pieces. Guys, I just got off work. I'm tired and sweaty. I'm ready to eat and I'm ready to have a shower. So this is going to be fairly cut and dry. They're going to kind of snap together, but let's make sure we do it the right way. Place ribbed pipe and clamp onto the elbow. So your elbow is going to be right here, and you're going to take this piece. All right, so your big end, this is going to be the piece that goes over right here, so you're going to have this smaller piece sticking out. So you're going to slide it over your elbow. You might have to loosen it a little. Again, this kind of comes with a screwdriver, so I didn't have to get up and go get one. Slide it all the way up on your elbow. I don't know if you can see me or not, but you slide it all the way up till it won't go anymore, and then you're going to tighten it down. I'm going to say get it pretty tight, but don't over tighten it. Don't break your clamp. Don't be weird about it. If it comes loose, you can always tighten it later. It's better than breaking something. That's what I always say. So I'm just going to kind of go until I got a lot of pressure on it and it won't go anymore. It's on there. It's not coming off. So we got 2 long pipes here. Look like they're the same pretty much. We got A, maybe, okay, so it's A, B. Yeah. So this piece is next, which is going to be B. You have A here. We're basically just going to follow the steps. I'm going to have to loosen this though. So you're going to take your B pipe, which I'm assuming they're calling the long pipe, but honestly this one's longer, but it's not the piece that goes on there because it has the other part. So we're going to put that one on. That's usually about how it goes. It's going to go, let me get it turned the right way because this is going to be the back. So this swings obviously, which is fine, but I just want to make sure we got direction. This is going to be the part you're going to hang on to. So this goes over it like so. Basically kind of wherever you want. I got mine probably about right there. This is your on-off valve, which turns the flow of your chemical on and off. Alright, so we're going to do this piece is going to go on next. You're going to have to see. It basically is just going to go on and twist. So you're going to kind of line your notches up with this little part right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but kind of got that. And then there's a little knob that sticks out on either side of this piece. So you're just going to put it in there the right way. This is going to point up. Should point up. So we're going to get it in there. And twist it, which pipe's kind of hard to hang on to. Maybe I need to turn it the other way too, because if I turn it now, I'm going to be pointing it down. Struggling here. So that locked it on. Actually, that's probably okay. So yeah, it was right. All right. So you get this piece, and then your next piece. I guess if you really, well, not really because it doesn't have the attachment. So this is optional. It says on it it's optional. I guess maybe if you need it a little longer. This one also is optional. So I guess if you really wanted it to stick out a lot further, you can put this piece on, then you can put this piece on, then you can put your turn up. But we're not going to use that. This is sufficient enough. Short of that, you're going to put this piece on. So I always leave my tube part facing up, one so that I can see it as I'm operating it. I guess you could probably turn it either way. But we just put on C, so then you're going to put D on. And it looks like this one, I don't remember how the other one went. This one just kind of slides on, so you'll be able to pop it off. All right, so now we got all of that. I'm trying to find the part that is going to tighten the controls. I guess it's in this bag. Maybe I just overlooked it, but I was looking for more of a... Yeah, this doesn't seem right. I got one screw and a couple hose clamps. I know the hose clamps are going to be used for the this plastic hose, but yeah, I guess it does. It's going to go. So this one screw right here is going to be what tightens your throttle and your chemical valve control on here. It is just a screw. Make sure you have it turned the way you want. So if I'm walking, I'm obviously going to have it turned like this. And your nozzle, let me make sure I'm getting this in there. I don't want to mess it up or strip it out or something. Yeah, it's going in. So your nozzle here is going to point up. You don't want it obviously facing down because you're kind of blowing down toward the ground. I mean, unless you have some sort of special situation, I guess you could turn it that way. But the idea is so that as this blows and as you're spraying it, it blows it up under the leaves and everything. So where your mosquitoes land, where the ticks get, different things like that. So it's kind of how it operates. Multitude of chemicals you can use in this. I use all kinds of different stuff. Sometimes I mix stuff. A lot of the stuff I get I have to order because I mean obviously I run a pest control company. There are some decent over-the-counter stuff you can get, and I mean a lot of the stuff I mean you can buy on eBay. I mean you can get some of the same chemicals I use unless you're using like a restricted use pesticide, but usually you're not going to, especially doing a job like this. So I've got the throttle on there pretty tight. It seems to be good to go. So then your next step obviously is going to be to hook up your chemical hose. So this one is, I'm going to unwrap it from this one. It's going to go right on there like so, and you're going to push it up over both little lips. There's going to be two lips on it, and I like to make sure, be careful putting it on. You don't want to break your lever or anything that turns it on. I'm going to attempt to do this with my hand. I may have to have some pliers. And here we go. I like it when you say you need something and it just automatically shows up right where you are. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to squeeze it. You're going to slide it all the way up. I'm just taking my pliers and squeezing this hose clamp open as much as I can. You're going to slide it up. Seems to be very tight, but once you get it worked up on there, I'm gonna about halfway usually on the plastic nozzles, what I like to try to do. So about right there, I got it halfway up. It means it's clamped on there good. So it does come with an extra one, which is pretty nice. I think both of these are the same length. I'm just going to use the shortest one. This one is shorter, a little bit, not by much, maybe an inch. So we're going to put the clamp on first, because then you're going to have a tough time getting your clamp on if you've already put your hose on. If I don't drop it, I keep dropping it. It's wonderful. So, going to squeeze this together, and I'm going to go ahead and slide it onto here. Not all the way, just, you know, enough to be able to slide it over the top of your other barbed nipple that sticks out there. Take my pliers to squeeze the clamp, and I'm going to turn it kind of where if I ever have to take it off, I'm not trying to fight the handle there, so I just kind of turn it sideways where I'm squeezing it. Put it about halfway, and now that's clamped on. So you're going to have to end up cutting this anyway. So, I mean, I guess technically you could wrap, and I don't know, I've never tried that before. I don't know how well I'm going to like it. It's just more hose to have to clean out. I don't know if I can get a, no, I don't know that I like the wrap. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'm just going to temporarily stick it on there. And, oh, I mean, I guess it's not bad, but I got so much crap on my truck. If I'm pulling it in and out, I'm liable to tear the hose up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it. I get my knife out of my boot. I always carry a knife in my boot. There's a fire starter in my boot too, because, hey, you never know. And we got her cut. So that's perfect. So you're going to find your other clamp. Hang on to your hose. If you're going to get out and do a lot of spraying, or you're driving around in your truck, make sure you take them with you, because you never know when you're going to need them. I've never had to replace out of the... I ran my other one for the Invatec Italia, which is a little cheaper than this one. I ran it for about, I guess, maybe 2 years, and it just crapped out. Like, it literally just crapped out. I don't know what happened to it, but I wasn't very pleased. I mean, after 2 years, you know, if I could have got 3 or 4, I might not have complained about it too much. This one's probably made in China too. I have no idea, but it is a different brand, so I'm trying it out. So you're going to slide this hose up onto this part best you can. Just be careful. Kind of having to squeeze the hose and turn it. I just want to make sure it's up there enough. And it looks like it is. So then I'm going to put the clamp on. Slide the clamp up there, and we're going to hook it right there on the ends. And I've got just enough hose for it not to be stretched out tight. That's on tight, that's on tight, trigger's on tight. Just kind of double check everything. Fan on the end is tight. And it looks like this one is pretty well ready to go. I'm just going to spray water in it to begin with. Just so, we'll see how far it sprays. It says 25 feet vertical, which I think on the Invatec Italia was 25 feet horizontal, I think, as far as it would go. This one claims it can do 25 feet vertical, which I don't spray a lot up vertically because technically you're not supposed to. I mean, I'll miss up some, but it's supposed to be 40 foot horizontal. So the further I can reach out into the woods or whatever, you know, wherever I'm treating, the better it is. So we'll find out. All right, guys. So you're going to have your choke and your run, which is here. We are going to take this out, and it's a 50-to-1. It tells you right there on the tank, 50-to-1 ratio. That's what I have my fuel mixed at, which is right here. Give her a little shake. You're gonna fill it up to there. So what we're gonna do is your bulb's gonna be under here. We've got to get the juices flowing to begin with, so we're going to pump it about 10-15 times. We're going to put the choke all the way on, and then the first important thing is you got to make sure that your switch is on. Down here is off, and here is on. Mine was already on. So before we do that, though, we're going to put a little water in it. That way if it starts working, I can see. You're going to run it right there. probably thinking, man, how does that fit on the truck? Very awkwardly. You have to kind of tilt it over and get it in there, but I do love the topper. Bet the cat won't stay there too long. I just kind of snug the cap. I don't want to over tighten it. Guys, these right here I cannot stress enough, and I'm fixing to do it right now just to show you. Every time you go to pick this up and put it on, and this is one thing they need to redesign, at least on the Tomahawk and the Invitec Italia, maybe made by the same company. These right here will come off. Literally, you'll go to pick it up and it'll come unsnap. So what I do, and I did it up here, but I don't have to do it up there, so I am glad of that, is I get tape. Get you some good old duct tape. And once you've got that on there, I'll slide it to the edge here. You're going to tape this all the way around so that one, it cannot come off. It can't open up and come off. So I'm going to take one more piece about the same length and do the other side. Kind of hang off. It makes it a little easier for me to get taped. So make sure it's in front and just wrap you a few rounds around it, and then you won't have to worry about it coming undone from here. So everything else seems to be tight. You kind of check everything. It looks good. We're not going to turn. You're not going to turn your flow of chemical on until you've got it cranked and you're ready to go. I've got it setting on 2, which is usually what I use it at, unless I'm doing something different, and then I might have it higher. So we've already pumped it. We've got the choke on. Choke's all the way up. We're going to crank it. Try to, hopefully. Well, that was way better than the other one. You just have to pull it 100 times. We'll let it warm up for a minute. Right here, I think that's what the spare cap was. It replaced that. We'll put it on and let's just try it out. See how far it goes. Run smooth. On choke and it'll kill itself, but for whatever reason my kill switch is not working. I don't know. It should be hooked up. There should, yeah, because it runs all the way up under. Well, it works. It does what it needs to do. It serves its purpose. Does not stop on its own, even though it has a kill switch. So you're going to have to step it up and make sure your stuff's working before you send it out of the factory. So I have to choke it to kill it. Other than that, it doesn't leak. Everything, this always wobbles. It always has on some of them. But short of the kill switch not working, everything else does work properly. Make sure you're using the right mixture of fuel. Make sure you're checking all your parts for leaks. Make sure you flush it out, clean the chemical out of your lines once in a while. Just do your regular maintenance on it. You know, if you need to change the spark plug, change the spark plug. Whatever needs to be done to it, which I'm probably going to end up changing this every year. I will just go ahead and tell you. I haven't had a problem, but I'm just going to make it a habit to change the spark plug every year. Just put a new one in it and be done with it. I mean, what's $3 or $4? You know, of course, they're probably like $20 now under Biden. But at any rate, we're going to do that. Other than that, it works really good. The kill switch doesn't work, but if you're using it around the house, it'll probably work great. If you're going to use it a whole lot, you might want to get a more expensive one. But that is my review on the Tomahawk. Other than the one thing being wrong with it, and everybody can make mistakes, it should serve your purpose. But if you're going to use one a lot, I probably would suggest it's a great one to start out with. If you don't have a lot of money, go ahead and get this one until you can work up to a bigger one. But other than that, that is the review of the Tomahawk Mosquito and Tick Mister.